Doctor Who has always been hope punk, but like with any hope punk story, and especially those that last for a long time, which, boy, Doctor Who sure has, there are certain moments that stand out as particularly hope punk. For the sake of time, let's focus in on just one major scene. First things first, I use he, him, or she, her pronouns for any individual incarnations of the Doctor depending on what they use, and they, them pronouns when talking about the Doctor collectively. Now, let's keep the controversial opinion train rolling, shall we? Because like I said, holding to what brings you joy in the face of people trying to tell you that that joy you feel is wrong is hope punk as far as I'm concerned. My opinion here is that I think Stephen Moffat, for all his flaws, and there are many, has the deepest understanding of the Doctor of the three showrunners of the modern era. I think at his best, he writes the best stories of the three of them, even if at his worst he gets a bit too excited about being clever, and sometimes writes something that barely holds together and is frankly too sexual for anyone's comfort but his own. And hopefully the actors, because if not, that is not okay. And just to be totally clear before we get into the scene, I agree with many of the criticisms of many of his female characters, though I'd argue that the longer a female character is around, the more depth and the less she tends to get rooted in sexualization during his showrunner era. This is particularly evident with Amy and Clara, who each get a chance to move away from any romantic or sexual entanglements with the Doctor, and are far better off for it. And there are some exceptions like Bill and Kate, who are each fantastic characters that lack any of his usual issues with writing women. But, all his flaws aside, I really do think he just gets the Doctor. The primary through line that connects every season of his time as showrunner is the exploration of what being the Doctor really means, and how the Doctor's larger-than-life myth has caused them to lose touch with who they promised to be when they took that name. The Doctor Falls is the conclusion to that story, in particular the scene where he explains to the Master and Missy why he chooses to spend his time trying to help people, even when it seems completely pointless. The Doctor's speech on kindness from that episode is just too obvious not to include in this essay. 12's speech on war is another that stands out, but I'm going to focus on this one because we've already spent so much time on other scenes from other stuff, and there's still more to go. And people other than I have already talked about both of these scenes and the wider episodes they're in extensively. This speech from the Doctor Falls absolutely deserves all the praise it gets, as does the wider episode and the two-parter it's part of. However, I think there's parts of it that sometimes get buried in the praise for its entirety that I think deserve specific attention. Specifically, the first words of the speech are extremely important, much more so than people might think. They're a vital part of any ideology built on kindness, like the one the Doctor goes on to detail.
Winning? Is that what you think it's about? I'm not trying to win. I'm not doing this because I want to beat someone, or because I hate someone, or because I want to blame someone.
There's a lot of love for the Doctor's rogues gallery, and rightly so. But the Doctor doesn't do what they do because they want to beat their current enemy. At least not when they're thinking clearly. That's not what being the Doctor is about.
I do what I do because it's right! Because it's decent! And above all, it's kind. If I run away today, good people will die. I stand and fight. Some of them might live. Maybe not many, maybe not for long. Maybe there's no point in any of this. But it's the best I can do. Who I am. It's where I stand, where I stand. It's where I fall.
Like the Doctor, those we, in the real world, call Doctor, are promising us with that title that they are either those who heal, or those who spend their time trying to understand things and intend to share what they have learned. This is what being a Doctor means to the average person. It means that they develop an expertise in the service of others, though, sadly, not every Doctor in our world lives up to it, and far too many deliberately choose not to.
Human progress isn't measured by industry. It's measured by the value you place on a life, an unimportant life, a life without privilege. The boy who died on the river, that boy's value is your value. That's what defines an age. That's what defines a species.
But That's what 12 does come to understand in his time being alive. That he and his other lives won't always live up to that title.
Always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind.
But damn it, they are sure as hell going to keep trying, because the world, or the universe in their case, needs people like that. And he is going to make sure that the lives he will live that come after him understand it as well. It's the best he can do, so he does it. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe he saves everyone, and maybe he saves no one. But if he can help even a little, why shouldn't he try? Why shouldn't he care? And why shouldn't he show it? Why is that seen as weak?
I'm not sure that any of that matters. Friends, enemies. So long as there's mercy. Always mercy.
He's the Doctor. But to be the Doctor, he has to live up to the promises of being a Doctor.
And you?
And what am I?
Have you really forgotten?
Yes. Maybe, yes.
We've got enough warriors. An old idiot can be a hero.
Then what do I do?
What you've always done. Be a doctor.
In contrast, the Master stands for nothing. Their lives are empty, continually obsessing over an endless search for power, domination, and to continue surviving at all costs. And it will never be enough for them. There is no end to that journey, and no meaning to be found within it. It's an empty reason to live. Without witness, without reward. What do you stand for? And will you stand for it when no one's watching? When you have no chance of being celebrated for your efforts? Do you have it in you to trust that trying to do the right thing matters in and of itself, even if it seems like it may not have some larger impact, even if it's just helping one person? Or even if you might fail? Because that is the Doctor's promise. To try, to always try to do the right thing, to help where they can, to learn and grow and share that knowledge and that wonder and that joy with others. It's the promise that creates justice if we strive to live up to it. And it is so Hope Punk. And, just to cap this section off, here's some of the best Hope Punk quotes from my personal favorite Doctor.
But you're scaring her.
Good. She should be scared. She's sacrificing herself. She should know what that means.
Do you mind if I tell you a story? All the elements in your body were forged millions of years ago in the heart of a faraway star that exploded and died. It scattered those elements across the desolations of deep space after so many millions of years. These elements came together to form new stars and new planets, and on it went. The elements came together and burst apart, forming shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings. Eventually, they came together to make you. You are unique in the universe, and there will never be another.
Getting rid of that existence isn't a sacrifice. It is a waste.
That's not going to be you forever. It's going to end the same way whatever you do.
Every life I save is a victory. Every single one. Who's she?
Nobody important.
Nobody important. Blimey, that's amazing. Do you know, in 900 years of time and space, I've never met anyone who wasn't important before. We all change. When you think about it, we're all different people, all through our lives. And that's okay, that's good, you've got to keep moving, so long as you remember all the people that you used to be. The way I see it, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. Hey, the good things don't always soften the bad things, but vice versa, the bad things don't necessarily spoil the good things or make them unimportant.